Bing, boing, bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip. Good morning, guys. This is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip. I'm Toddy One Skip. Good morning. Thank you so much, as always, for allowing me to be part of your day. It's really important to me. And I know that time, and I've said this before, time is a currency, especially when there's only so much time in the day. So I always thank you for allowing me that currency, whether it be at 1.5 speed, 2.0 speed, whatever it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, guys, I was watching a video, and I saw that there, you know, a while ago, I said a couple weeks ago, I said, and it's true, and I think that a lot of people agree with this, that the house that they wanted to, or they were attempting or trying to build or pretending to build or making us believe they were building for the Whittakers, was way too much for the Whittakers, because all they needed was a double wide or a 1.5 or even a single wide with 2 bedrooms and a bath at the very least, but 1.5 baths would be perfect, especially if the one of them was a shower bath, right? But by law, I don't care what Eric was saying and trying to confuse and discombobulate. Betty and Lorraine could share a room, and Timmy and Ray could share a room, and by law, that's fine. So that's all they needed. So this bullshit of that log cabin was only to confuse us and was for them to make more money. Because had they have just done that, I don't think anybody would have caught on, and they'd have their house. But that's not what was planned for them. That's not what Eric was going to do. Now, a lot of us have known about the affiliation that Eric Carroll has with the Amish because of the masked issue, right? I mean, you could go into his dad talk. That's his claim to fame. That's all that I see that Eric Carroll has done. And I'm not too sure that he did that legitimately or without anything going back in his pocket. He has ruined his credibility with not just me, it appears, but with everybody. And it doesn't mean that I'm giving Patrick a pass at all. No, no, no. Nope, nope, nope. I think Patrick actually cares for the family. I do say that. And I do say that Patrick wanted to make money off the family and that Patrick exploited Timmy. Whether Timmy knew it or not, that's what it was. I don't think it's right. I don't think that Patrick really would have walked away out of all of this without the Whittakers getting something. I certainly don't think that the breaking up of the family was on Patrick. I'm sorry. I don't. You guys could think otherwise. That's fine. I just don't think that Patrick wanted that. Did he want to make money? Yes. And, when you take your eye off the ball or you bring people in that have nefarious reasoning and you haven't checked them out, but you're going on people's good word and a handshake, sometimes you got a problem with that. Their word means shit. Maybe Patrick, and I do believe that Patrick bought into Eric's first email about how he can help the family and how he wasn't doing so well, Patrick, with the GoFundMe, according to Eric, and that he could do better with that. And I do think that Patrick thought, okay, we could do this and maybe everybody can make money. I, again, don't think that the breakup of that family is on Patrick, but I think his responsibility was allowing Eric to come in and taking his eye off the ball. Okay. But now we got to go forward. First of all, where's the money? Like, I still haven't heard. Has anybody heard where the money is? All I've heard is that there's a court date coming about, right? There's a court date coming about, but I haven't seen any money dispersed, and we got paid. Like, we've gotten paid now, but has anybody seen the money? Because I haven't. I know I've been some distracted with things. So I'll apologize if the Whittakers got their money and everything's good. I really will. Something tells me that that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure we would have heard about that. Have we heard any more from Eric? Because I don't think we've done that either. Patrick's been talking a little bit, and there's been accusations about Patrick, and I know that there is controversy over that, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't think he has the money. I do think he offered the family. Somebody is making a big deal about Patrick's mom buying Patrick his house. So what? So what? That's not the problem at hand. And still, if he wants to give property so that Betty could put a home there and they're allowed to do that, why can't they do that? I think that right now that's a good temporary solution to get Betty into a nice clean place, and see what happens when they go to court, and see what the judge asks them to do, and that's the best. That's the best. Let the judge, this is how you get your family back, and this is what you'll need to do to get your family back. In the meantime, Betty should have had a lawyer, and she would have had a lawyer had she have had money. No doubt. But I can't believe with all this publicity that not one lawyer took a pro bono and just said, let me help this lady. That hasn't happened either, because I haven't heard about that either. So that's just unbelievable. So, I mean, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot more questions than there are answers, for sure. For sure. And it's really sad because the situation is still the same. Has anybody heard how the family is? I mean, you hear things, but is it true? Yeah. You don't know. We don't know, right? Absolutely. Absolutely don't know anything. So, listen, I've seen both, as I said before, there is both people that are to blame here, but there was something that somebody sent me that I want to read to you that talks about Eric and shows a pattern, I think, in his characteristics. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this up here so that you guys could see what I'm reading to you. Just so you know, folks, just so you know. All right. So this is from Kenneth Rosa. Here's my official statement since my screenshot, and this was September 22nd. It's on his Facebook page. Here's my official statement since my screenshots and posts are being used in a group of over 20,200 fans of the Whittaker family. I've never even heard of these people before the articles of Eric Carroll being investigated in a fraud case by state police or him allegedly taking money for the family started being sent to me, and was not expecting to get DRUG. Was not expecting to get drug into this in any way. Little bit of history. Eric was canned from the Fathers' Rights movement for making behind the scenes allegations that one of our colleagues was a prostitute. Wild times. I took the place of 200 plus volunteers shortly after. Eric started Dad Talk today. He signed on for 5 of the leaders of the shared parenting with him and promised them all shows on his socials, etc., and even made them all the cutest little cartoon characters. He had a co-host. They all started getting their followers to join his socials, and when he was done using them all to boost his socials, he never let any of them on the air and shit canned all of them, including the co-host. Of course, it was all their fault. They allowed him to use them or something like that. Fast forward to Illinois. I was asked by the Masked family to take a picture with Eric, even though I thought he was a grifter piece of shit. I obliged out of respect. The photo was released once, and I still have a copy somewhere. When Cash got lost in Missouri woods, where my kid is, law enforcement and my first wife's sister worked for the very sheriff's department that was conducting the search. I had insider info on one else on no one else that no one else was privy to. Eric started a fundraiser to come to Missouri, even though law enforcement was, hang on a second. Even though law enforcement was specifically stating they didn't want others coming into the state yet to look for cash. Eric blocked me on this. Eric blocked me on his regular socials because I messed up his little fundraiser stuff for him to grift money on that project. His largest sponsor for years will not have anything to do with him anymore. A very prominent lawyer in Arkansas was allegedly told that since he was gaining clients through Eric's socials, he was going to have to pay to keep using them. We've never seen that lawyer on his social since. Moving on, people were donating cars and money, and a few documentaries were made, but we all know how that turned out using that family's name. I started calling out these behaviors in 2021, it appears, and was obliterated by advocates that didn't want me calling this shit out. The shared parenting community has a lot of grifters angling for their own come up, as evidenced by the fraud scam. I sued the fathers' rights movements for using my NIL to do so. That's a likeness, right? I pride myself that for 10 years I was able to get done a lot of things and never once took a single dime from anyone. I get it. Trips aren't free. Money makes changes, but some of y'all are worse than snake oil salesmen. But I digress. Seems like a pattern of using familial names to achieve a goal, and every single time dude touches something, it's not long before people claim that fraud is allegedly happening. When there is smoke, there is fire. Why does it keep happening? I don't ever say or put anything on the internet I need to take back or apologize for. Once it's on the net, it's out there forever. So continue to use my content to whatever means you feel necessary, but it's very hard to catch me slipping. It's why I became the media manager for the largest push of fathers' rights, and not one single state has passed the 50-50 legislation since I resigned from that job in 2023. Say what you want about me. We got stuff done when I was around. For our kids' sake, I hope people like Robert, meaning Robert Mast, continue to make great progress. I get offers all the time to take over socials for orgs because I don't make many mistakes when. Hang on. I don't make many mistakes when it comes to putting out statements. Someday, perhaps, I'll get back into that arena, but for now, you'll have to keep grabbing screenshots and using, Rosa said. I haven't said anything untrue, but it's even harder to catch me slipping in court. So feel free to fact check or call me into court and we'll get after it anytime. In the words of Easy E, don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. Be careful who you donate to and let around your family, and always remember, if it's on the internet, it's forever. And then there's screenshots here where Kenneth says to a guy named Brian, you can see this stuff, Pissed off parents is part of this. Shit, maybe he didn't have to ask fathers for $25 to tell their story if he hadn't spent $10K on his followers' money to take a photo op with an ex-president. Because there is a photo of him with an ex-president. And I guess he's saying to tell your story on his channel, it's $25. It's nothing on my channel, guys. You want to tell your story, that's cool. $25, and that's something. And then takes 10,000 for a photo op. I could believe that. Guys, so this is he talks about dad talk all the time, and this is an organization that wants nothing to do with him, that's accused him of bad behavior and has banned him. So I mean, that should tell you something. How come he doesn't say shit like that when he bashes others? He's easy to bash others, but doesn't say anything about anybody else, right? All right, guys, we'll stay on top of it. I think Lady K has a live today, so we'll pay attention to that. Yeah, and guys, everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip. This is the Whittaker story because of two stenoids that decided to play games, and look at what happened. Don't let it be your story, guys. Thanks and be well. I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much, guys. Be well. Bing, boing, bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip.